Well, it's a spectacular morning on the trail. Colder than yesterday, about -18, -19. Sun's just breaking through the trees. Gonna go out, get off the trail as quickly as we can, and get into some of these less traveled areas. Just a few minutes ago, I came upon 3 turkeys that were up in trees. I was trying to get the regular camera out to get some shots of them, but they realized I was there, had enough of me, and all took off. Kind of a rare sight, although maybe less rare in the wintertime when they're trying to stay away from predators. And it may be a little known fact, a lot of people don't think turkeys can fly because of the old WKRP skit. And I wouldn't say they're the best in the world at it, but they can definitely get up off the ground. So I'm walking a trail that I was on yesterday. I'm heading back into another area that's a little bit more remote. But there's a ton more deer sign than when I was up here yesterday. And the trail goes right along the edge. The deer trail goes right along the edge of the walking trail. And it looks like they've stopped at all of these trees and plucked off all the berries that they can get. They're right in along the edge of the trail, and there's lots of stopping points, and I can see that the trees have been munched basically up to the level that a deer would be able to reach. You know, if you're new to snowshoeing, one of the cool things about it is that I'm on an NCC Greenbelt property in the city, and I'm on a trail that nobody's been on for a week. It's probably only accessible because it's a really marshy area, and right now it's wintertime, so everything's frozen. Well, unfortunately, I think the trail's getting a little bit tougher here. If I'm going to get through, I'm going to have to work at this. Well, there is a massive amount of overhang here from some fallen dead trees. I think because I'm alone and because I'm way off the trail, discretion will be the better part of valor. I don't think I'm going to try to get through here, just in case. Sure how easy these tracks are to pick up on the video, but most of the tracks I've been seeing today have been deer. This one, pretty much sure it's a coyote. They're pretty big footprint. He's heading. Well, glad I took another look, because here's the reason that coyote was down here. Those are turkey tracks. This is pretty heavy brush for those guys to be hanging around in. Coyote tracks, turkey tracks. It snowed 2 days ago, so they're both pretty fresh. I think he was tracking that bird. Tough sledding along the shoreline right now because there's not a ton of snow on the ground, maybe 18 inches or so. Really need about 3 feet before I do too much of this. Wasn't able to get him on camera, but I saw a really beautiful red-headed woodpecker a little while ago, and apparently this is one of his favorite trees. Look at the size of those holes. Actually, I should correct one thing. I saw a red-headed woodpecker, but I suspect that's a pileated. Those are pretty big holes. Well, been out for about 3 hours now, and going to start looping back. And we'll follow some game trails back over to the trail that I walked in on, and then we'll head back out. Well, this is pretty neat. I've seen lots of woodpeckers in here, but I haven't seen 2 of them working the same tree almost side by side. Now, this is an area I know fairly well anyway, but one nice thing about being the only person out here, when you haven't seen any other tracks and you go in a nice big circle, as soon as you hit a trail, you know it's yours. Makes it easy for you to get back out again. We've doubled back on our tracks from this morning where we went in, Done a complete circle, big wide loop. Now we're gonna head back towards the trail, main trail, and back towards the car. You know, even in these populated greenbelt areas where lots of people use the main trails, there's still a ton of territory that you can explore just by going off trail. And if you're not familiar with the area, just follow your tracks back out. And as long as it's not snowing, you're all good.